we did a pretty good first round of getting out here. That's all we get though, one practice. Because tonight when you come out here, we're doing it for real. Hey, Paul, up in the press box, can you just turn it down a little bit? Okay, a couple reminders here. And some of you have already figured it out. There are 10 seats on this side and 10 seats on this side for a total of 20 seats in a row. So as you are processing in, when you get to be close to number 10, you have to understand if you're like 11 or 12, you don't want to walk across this middle section. So I'm just going to let that sink in. When you come out tonight, Mr. Lamfer and Mr. Mann, Mr. Snaith are helping you. And then there's thousands of people in the stadium, but you have to be mindful of where you are in terms of number. And Mr. Lamfer and Mr. Mann are going to be saying that. So you have to pay attention in addition to being in an electric environment with thousands of people in here. Okay? You stay standing. Excellent job. When the music stops, we will have 3 students who will be up at the microphone giving the opening. And they will give you the direction to please have a seat, or you may now be seated. So once you hear you may be seated, have a seat. So go ahead and have a seat right now. So a couple things that happen at the beginning. You'll have 3 classmates up here giving the opening. There'll be the Pledge of Allegiance. There'll be the national anthem sung by the Madrigals, the Alma Mater by the Madrigals, and then I will come up to the microphone, okay? I just needed you to know the order of events. So the biggest thing is don't sit down until you've been told, all right? Also, I know this should go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyways. If thousands of people are watching you, and they are, if you are sitting on your phone, just scrolling, checking, that's a problem. They're watching you. Not pay attention in your own graduation ceremony. I'm not saying your phone's not going to be with you or in your lap or in your hand, but if you are just distracted by your phone in your formal graduation, please know people are watching that, and then they think, well, this isn't even important to that graduate, okay? So just be mindful of that. Walking out. We were just practicing, but when we really walk out tonight, give some distance. If Anne-Marie is in front of me and we're processing out, right? I'm behind her. Give yourself about an arm's length distance. Don't be riding her bumper, right? Don't be that person that's way back here because you didn't pay attention, right? About arm's length. And when you get into the stadium, that's when I mean soak in the moment. Enjoy the crowd, the applause, the music, your classmates as you single-filely process into your row, okay? All right, we're going to fast forward through some speeches. When it's time for you to get up out of your chair and you come up to get your diploma, okay?
Okay, everybody, when you line up, you're going to line up over on this side, okay? Miss Campbell is going to be standing on the other side of the railing, but she's going to be about here. At this point, there's going to be a student that you're going to hand your name card to, who is then going to hand it to me. I'm going to be standing right here in the corner behind the railing. So, first person comes up, they hand their card. We're going to go with Anne Marie because she's going to be first. Anne Marie's going to walk up here. I'm going to say, Anne Marie Gilbert. She's going to walk across the stage, shake hands, do all that, and walk off. When I call the person in front of you, when I call their name, you walk up from where Miss Campbell is, and you stop here. I call your name, you walk across, get your diploma cover, shake hands, all that stuff, walk off. Next person, same thing. Okay? Are there any questions about that? Nope? Okay, perfect.
Again, just to reiterate, if you have a name that is commonly mispronounced, Miss White does not want to do that. So make sure you come see her either before you leave practice or when you arrive tonight for graduation. Okay? All right. In addition to thousands of people taking pictures of you, there are 2 professional photographers. And there's going to be one right about here, and they are going to be taking a picture of you when you shake my hand and I give you a diploma. Then there's going to be another one just off to where Mr. Lampfer is walking to. And so when you come down the ramp, something happens right here where they're going to make you pose or something. Okay, something happens right here. By the way, you see all these black chairs over here? Those are the senior spear teachers. They can't wait to be the first one to congratulate you. Okay? So spear teachers are right here. There's a professional photographer right here. Once you're done, you are going to walk back to your row, go down your row, and find your seat. When you get back to your seat, sit down. You're not standing. You sit right down. Okay? We're almost done here. At the very end of the ceremony, by this time, thousands of people are anxiously awaiting to come hug you. So just so you know, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say, Class of 2026, now that you've crossed the stage and you've received your diploma, there's only one last thing for us to do. And when I say that, I am going to tell you to stand up, right? Because you have your diploma, everyone's gone across the stage. I'm going to tell you to stand up. Okay, so go ahead and stand up. I'm going to remind you that at that moment, your tassel on your cap should be on the right side, because that symbolizes you're still a student. And then I'm going to tell you that upon my presentation of you as a graduate, to move your tassel to the left, which signifies you are a graduate. So I'm going to tell you that. Start on the right, you're going to move it to the left, and then I will say what everyone in the stadium is waiting to hear me say, and now the moment we've all been waiting for. And I usually say something like, it is with great pride and distinction that I present to you the class of 2026. And at that moment, the crowd goes wild, and what typically happens is graduates throw up their hats. I'm not saying you have to, but that's usually what happens. And excitement ensues. And 110 Racetrack Road becomes this big party, okay? So, and then the ceremony's over. And then people descend from the stands and they can't wait to come hug you, okay? So, couple things. Where you're standing or sitting right now is not likely to be the exact chair you're in, but it's pretty close. And you know, mamas and dads want to know, are you on the visitor's side or are you on the home side? And you may not be able to tell them exactly, but you can tell them I'm towards the front, I'm in the middle, I'm towards the back, right? But here's what they can tell you. They can tell you where they're seated, right? You can tell them, I'm coming into the stadium on the home side, or I'm coming into the stadium on the visitor side. That's what you can tell them. And they can tell you, okay, well, we're going to sit on this side, or we're sitting on that side. But in terms of exactly what seat you're in, until you're there, that's when you know. Okay? Okay, what else? What else before I say we're done?
All sitnas stay to figure out spacing, and then speakers will stay.
Copy. 2 more things. When you leave the auditorium and gymnasium, ladies, don't bring purses, don't bring bags, don't bring anything extra. Can you have something in your hand? Gentlemen also, yes. Which also means don't bring it out of your car, because no one is in there watching it. It is not secure. So only leave from the car what you are going to carry and carry out here. And what I'm telling you is you're not carrying very much out here. Okay? Your phone and your index card are pretty close to it. All right? Lastly, if you are a SUMA graduate, you are staying for just a little bit extra for some practice. Yep. Everyone else is ecstatic that they're not staying. So all SUMA graduates, you are staying once we release. Anything else? Final reminder, you are not leaving graduation tonight and going to pick up a diploma. Not tonight. You're going to leave as a graduate, and on Tuesday, starting Tuesday, 12 to 2 in the front lobby, we will be distributing diplomas. And if you can't make it then, or your parent can't make it, Wednesday through Friday, we'll be up in the guidance office for pickup. And if you can't get it then, we'll be here all summer. All right, with that, I will see you at 6 o'clock tonight.